There is no feud between the Sultan of Symmetry, Flex Wheeler, and Andrew Jack. There's no feud. It's one of those things, a lot of people are talking on the message boards about the Olympia TV excerpts where Flex basically was talking about the mind-muscle connection, and he was kind of saying that there's certain poses that Andrew hits where the posing could be a little bit better kind of thing. But he also took shots. And again, here I am. I'm sort of pouring gasoline on the fire because I'm saying took shots. He didn't take shots. It was a constructive criticism of Andrew's posing with certain, not the posing across the boards, just certain shots. And he also sort of, had the same issue with Hunter Labrada, who took second place, had won Tampa the week prior, went to Texas, probably looking the best he's looked ever, against Andrew Jack, also looking the best he's ever looked ever. It was first, second, and then everybody else, But the reality of the matter is that, Flex wasn't throwing shade at Andrew. A lot of people want to make it look that way because of the fact that Andrew used to work with Flex. They want to kind of try to recreate the whole Flex Keon thing, where in reality, if you know the backstory to that, there really wasn't all that much animosity between those two anyways. But people wanted to create something out of nothing. And that's why, I try to avoid the message boards as much as possible, but I'm getting bombarded with all these messages, primarily on Instagram and TikTok, and people want to know, am I going to write for Iron Magazine on this? And yes, I am, but I'm not going to write the kind of article that you think I'm going to write because I'm not going to pour gasoline. The only thing that I said, and it was a misspeak, and I could probably go back and make the video again, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to be a hypocrite, is that, where I said that Flex took shots and I misspoke and I took that back. But I want to show you my human quality, my human perspective. And what I'm trying to say by that is that it's very easy for us to kind of fall into this kind of, downward spiral, where we see something where there's nothing to be seen. The other thing I want to talk about is when you're doing a show like Olympia TV or any kind of bodybuilding commentary, it's very difficult to make a subjective sport like bodybuilding seem entertaining to an audience member, especially watching on pay-per-view or watching on a live simulcast online, okay? It's not like football where you've got field goals and touchdowns and really good sacks. It's not like basketball where you have slam dunks, or baseball where you have, like no-hitters or home runs. It's a sport where you're basically sitting there, for hour upon hour talking about this lady's glutes, this guy's biceps, this lady's wheels, this guy's abs, and you've got to make it fun. And you've got to have a lot of, whether you want to call it filler or fluff, you got to have something to kind of make up that time. Because, the placings, the pose down, that's maybe 10% of the show. The rest of the show, it's the individual routines, it's the compulsories where they're comparing, they being the judges, the mandatory poses, and a commentator's got to kind of weigh in. Now, whether that's taking shots or just being objective or subjective, because again, the commentators have their own subjective opinion. Nothing about bodybuilding is subjective. Nothing. Not what the judges do, not what the commentators do, not what we do as fans and as journalists on the various social media platforms. It's all subjective. The guy that I think that should win may be the guy the judges have second. Maybe the guy that the Olympia TV commentator has third. And that's just the nature of the beast. But the thing is, when you're the commentator, you've got to be able to dissect physiques, dissect posing, dissect condition. You've got to be able to talk about anything and everything because you need to make time. And so you can't always be a cookie cutter. You can't always, please everybody. Sometimes you're going to say things that certain competitors just cannot stomach. If you're going to be a bodybuilder, a men's physique competitor, a bikini competitor, a figure competitor, you've got to be able to process all sorts of criticism. Now, Andrew Jack did make some comments where he basically said, listen, I'm only going to listen to the judges. I'm not going to listen to people outside the box. Some people took that to maybe be him throwing it back to Flex Wheeler or anybody else that had anything to say that was anything but positive. But again, saying that the guy could improve certain poses, saying that the guy's mind-muscle connection could improve, again, coming from the Sultan of Symmetry, arguably the 1998 uncrowned Mr. Olympia, isn't really a knock, okay? And I just feel that, people want to make this into something. This video is not trying to do that. Rather, I'm merely observing what some people are doing on the message boards. I'm not going to say which, and I'm not going to say it's one, because in reality, it isn't one, it isn't two, it's various message boards. And me, I'm an older guy. I'm 44 years old. I call a lot of things message boards. There are legitimate message boards like Get Big and MD and RX. Those are actual message boards. Iron Magazine, Iron Mag Labs, those are message boards. Anabolic Forums, those are message boards, okay? But I also consider Facebook groups and Reddits message boards. Are they truly message boards? No, but it's the same model. You have a big group of people, you've got moderators, you've got admins, people are going to leave comments, some get filtered out, some get to stay, others get pinned and go to the top. You know, it's basically, to me, very similar to what message boards are. And of course, you still got, I think you still have bodybuilding.com message boards. I'm not sure, but the Mist used to be like one of the most infamous, not famous, infamous, because people would troll and just do all sorts of stuff on there. And that was part of what made it so much fun. Even though the moderators and admins, they killed the fun because they were constantly censoring people, banning people, and so on and so forth. But the really, really good boards are the ones where you can say whatever you want. Unfortunately, that includes, you know, making something out of nothing. Really, honestly, there's no news here. Keep on moving, folks. There's nothing here to see. But because so many people tried to make this as something, Nick Strength and Power reported on it. You know, Desktop Bodybuilding may have reported on it. So now I have to do my due diligence for the readers of Iron Magazine and the viewers of Strength Addicts. And I just have to talk about it, you know. Strength Addicts, as of late, hasn't been so big on YouTube, primarily doing the Instagram thing, a little bit of the Facebook thing, a little bit of the Twitter thing. But YouTube, you know, we got the 25,000, 26,000 subscribers that are not fake subscribers. These are subscribers that were, you know, basically won over by the Rich Piana videos, the Spanish videos, the lots of contest coverage videos. But when YouTube went from the normal way of doing things to this bell and the notifications and all that, most 99% of the viewers didn't ring the bell. And, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, nonetheless, you know, YouTube will always be an important social media platform for Strength Addicts. And so I would be remiss if I was writing articles and posting at strengthaddicts.com. And if you haven't seen the new strengthaddicts.com, by all means, check it out, because my webmaster, web designer did a fantastic job, and we're so happy with the product. We also got bikinidivision.com, wellnesscompetitor.com. We've got 212bodybuilding.com, muscularladies.com. There's a bunch, and they're all in the Strength Addicts platform, and they're all title sponsored by TitanMedicalCenter.com, your go-to source for all the amazing therapies. If you have not gone to TitanMedicalCenter.com, you absolutely should. Sign up for the newsletter. Get on all the great lives each week. Titan Talk Tuesday is a fantastic program at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there's programs on Thursdays, on Fridays. There's a lot going on at Titan Medical. The clothing's amazing. The therapies are amazing. And without them, I would not be able to do what I do here. But with regards to Andrew Jack, again, huge kudos to him for winning the Texas Pro. That was his show to lose. He won it. He did fantastic. He held back a very, very impressive Hunter Labrada, who a lot of people believe put 100% into that show. Maybe a little bit less into Tampa, but he still wiped the floor with everybody at Tampa. He's got his Olympic qualification. And these two guys may, again, you know, they may rumble again at the Olympia in November in Orlando, Florida. But the good thing about Hunter and Andrew is that you couldn't ask for two better guys. They got along great. They took photos after. You know, that's the kind of rivalry that the fans want to see, kind of like a Jay-Ronnie rivalry, not a Kai-Phil rivalry, you know what I mean? But with regards to the comments made by Flex Wheeler, not Flex Lewis, the Assault and the Symmetry on Olympia TV, come on, guys. He's just doing his job, you know, and like I said, he had critiques about Hunter as well. It was nothing against Andrew. And maybe Andrew, maybe he got his feathers a little ruffled by that. And he made his statement about how he's only going to listen to the judges. And I think it's safe to say that whatever that was basically stayed there, and it's in the past. It's in the rearview mirror. It's over and done with. So nothing to see here, folks. Keep on going.